What is going on, YouTube? My name is Randy, and today's Mets topics, we got to talk about the help on the way with the pitching. We got to talk about Brandon Sproat, a prospect, and also Nolan McLean. How far away are they from the major leagues? We're going to get right into it, guys. Definitely, let's get right into this, guys. The Mets, we know that the Mets have had some pitching issues, and we know that Kodai Senga, Sean Manaea, Miguel, all these injuries. We understand that. But now we got some good news that Kodai Senga is going to make a rehab start in Binghamton, and that probably is going to be his only rehab start that he really needs. And then after the All-Star break, the Mets are going to have Kodai Senga. That is the news from the New York Mets. And also, Sean Manaea is one rehab start away from coming to the New York Mets. So really good news for Sean Manaea. Really good news for Kodai Senga. It feels like they don't think that they need Kodai Senga to have a long rehab assignment. Maybe just one start in Binghamton will be fine. And listen, the team needs Kodai Senga. This team really needs Kodai Senga, and this team really needs Sean Manaea. Pitching is a big factor with this team, with so many injuries that they've had. They need these guys to step up. They need these guys to come back and really, make that rotation the top rotation that it could be. When you got guys like David Peterson, Clay Holmes, these guys, and right now, Paul Blackburn also on the shelf as well. You need Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga to come through. So I'm hoping that they can basically make the rotation, full again, and also just really do what they need to do. I want to see the ace Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga was having an amazing season for the New York Mets before he got injured. And we know that Kodai Senga is injury prone. We understand that. Sean Manaea has been on the shelf ever since spring training. And the Mets really need Sean Manaea. So I think we'll be fine. I think these guys are going to be a big factor for this rotation. But when it comes to health, that's the really big thing about Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga. You got to keep them healthy any way you can. So I'm hoping they can find a way to keep Kodai Senga, to keep Sean Manaea healthy. And that's all we want. All we want is healthy starting pitching. And so many injuries. The Mets have been hit with so much from the injury bug, with McGill injured, Senga injured, Sean Manaea, Paul Blackburn. I mean, it just, the list just keeps going. So I'm hoping that this rotation can look really great after the All-Star break with David Peterson, Clay Holmes, Sean Manaea, Kodai Senga. And we'll see at the end of the day if they have a Blade Tidwell or someone else. But, man, and Griffin Canning also got injured as well. So we'll see. I just want the Mets to be successful, and I feel like pitching is a big, big factor. You saw in the beginning of the season, how this was for the New York Mets and how important the pitching was. So, man, let's get right into our second topic of the day, and that is Brandon Sproat, guys. We got to talk about Brandon Sproat. To me, he has had some really two good starts lately when it comes to, in the league. Let's get into it here. Right-hander Brandon Sproat tonight for AAA. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 89 pitches, 51 strikes, generate 11 swing and misses, guys. His fastball topped at 99.3 miles per hour. Over his last 2 starts, he has 11 innings. He has 4 hits allowed, 0 runs, 4 walks, 14 Ks with 26 swings and misses. And I feel like Brandon Sproat, to me, has struggled in AAA, and he's a guy that obviously the Mets are looking towards making a start, making him a starter in the major leagues, but it's taken time, and they thought he was going to take a big jump in his development, but he hasn't done that yet. And definitely he had a 6 ERA in June, and now he's having a pretty good July. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Brandon Sproat. I think he's a good arm. I think his fastball, like I said, topped at 0.3. I mean, this guy has that fastball, has that velocity. So we'll see what Brandon Sproat. It's been a struggle, but I'm hoping he can just keep it going. And I think that the Mets right now aren't in a rush to bring up Brandon Sproat. And to me, I want to see Brandon Sproat. I get it, you want him to develop, but with so many pitching injuries that you've had in the, like Griffin Canning, McGill, Senga, all these guys, you thought you would see a guy like Brandon Sproat. Yes, you've seen Blade Tidwell, and Blade Tidwell is another guy that looked really good. So I'm just hoping that this team can get something from the pitching prospects. And Tidwell has had some good starts, but Brandon Sproat to me was the guy that was supposed to make that jump before Blade Tidwell. So I'm hoping that Brandon Sproat just keeps it going, keeps development going, and gets doing what he needs to do. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, all we want is our prospects to do well. That is all we want, right? So let's get into our last topic of the day, and that is going to be Nolan McLain, guys. And unfortunately, the Mets don't see him as an option right now to bring him to the majors. They do not see him as an option. And Nolan McLain in his last start went 5 innings, 7 hits allowed, 2 runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. He threw 89 pitches, 58 strikes generated, 11 swing and misses. His triple A ERA now stands at 2.80. This guy is good. I like Nolan McLain. He has a lot of movement on his pitches. This is a guy that I feel another weird thing when it comes to the Mets, not having urgency when it comes to starting pitching. You've seen what they have done right now so far in the Subway Series. The first game, they're doing a bullpen game. And that to me, I would rather see a guy like Brandon Sproat. I'd rather see a guy like Nolan McLain. And yeah, that's what I want to see. I get it. You want these guys to develop, but man, just give them a spot start. I don't know if you guys know, but Jacob deGrom was a spot start. He was a spot start. He wasn't supposed to just come up and stay in the majors. No, that was a spot starter. So that's the thing with the New York Mets. I'm hoping that they can get Nolan McLain up here, that they can get Brandon Sproat up here, because those guys are going to make an impact for this team. I think that Nolan McLain has made the jump further and faster than Brandon Sproat, but I like Brandon Sproat still. He, like I said, he has a really good fastball, has some breaking pitches, but he needs to get it together. And so far, in those last 2 starts for Brandon Sproat, he's got it together. But Nolan McLain has given, an ERA of 2.80, in AAA. That is good. That is really good. So I think when it comes to Mets pitching, we got Mets pitching help on the way. But I also want to see these prospects come up at some point this year. If you want to make the big jump, if you want to be successful, if the Mets want to be successful, they're going to have to do something out of their comfort zone. And maybe this is going to be the great thing for the New York Mets. So we'll see what happens, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Randy. Let's go Mets. Yeah, man. Let's go Mets.